And we're back with some more philosophical musings. So today I'm going to be covering something that I want to talk about lots and lots in the future, which I don't feel gets enough credit to the profundity of, really, and that's dreams. I imagine many of you have had a dream before, and if not, well, you're missing out, to be honest. They're pretty mad. And recently, my dreams have been the maddest I've ever experienced in my whole life. I'm not really sure what's triggering it, to be honest. Possibly the fact that I don't smoke weed at all anymore, really. And when I do, it's on the very odd occasion. Say I'll have like a few tokes on my mate's joint, and then that night I'll have the most crazy dreams ever, which is pretty mad considering that when I used to smoke weed chronically, I'd have no dreams at all, because if anyone knows, it actually inhibits your REM sleep, which obviously can stop you from producing dreams and also can make you quite dopey, probably why it's called dope, to be fair. So for some reason lately I've had the most vivid, intricate, complex dreams I've ever had in my life, combining areas of every single part of my subconscious. My friends, people I've met on the street are appearing in my dreams, fictional characters, places that I desire to go to. Say like I'm planning to go to Japan at some point. I've been dreaming about living in Japan, weird futuristic cyberpunk version of it. And obviously dreams are the composition of dreams is a lot of things that are in your subconscious that manifest when you're in REM sleep. So it can be all this stuff, even that you don't even realise you're thinking about, stuff that you push into the back of your head. A lot of your shadow can emerge in dreams. I think that's where a lot of nightmares come from. If there's something you're suppressing in your life and not acknowledging, it can manifest via a nightmare. And it can be a good way to figure out things that you need to work on in your life. It is hard to analyse dreams because they're so infinitely complex and disconnected and oftentimes paradoxical. But this is why having a dream journal is actually really effective. I've not started doing that yet, but I'm definitely going to get on it soon, because all my dreams are telling me some serious shit. One little kernel of truth that I've managed to take away from my dreams is that I am in dire need of a psychedelic trip. I've not actually had a profound experience since my Liberty Cap trip at Rosa Festival last year, which was just one of the most mind-bending, spiritually purifying trips I've ever embarked on. But ever since then, I've really just not had the ability to do it or had access to the materials. But in one of my dreams recently, in I think like 3 or so, I had one a while ago, a few months ago, and it still stuck with me to this day. And I was in a dream world. It was a bit like I was in Morrowind, to be fair. Sort of everything was sort of fungi in appearance, and I was in this like sort of vertical world, a bit like the trees in Avatar, where I think they lived in trees, didn't they? Sort of lived vertically on these like platforms. I can't remember Avatar, I can't remember any characters, but I remember some parts of it. And it was a bit like that, all this amazing like tropical vegetation, mushrooms everywhere. And in the dream, I was sort of lucid, half not. And I remember seeing an amanita mushroom in the dream, and I consumed it, and I actually awakened into the dream. It was one of the most insane things I've ever experienced in my life. So before that, I was sort of like half lucid, and then when I took the amanita in the dream and the effects started to come on, I literally felt my dream body. I felt sort of the toxicity of the amanitas, because I just completely ate this raw mushroom straight in front of me, didn't prepare it in any way, went through that weird sort of purging experience, and then literally started tripping in the dream and having fractals, kaleidoscopes, feelings of interconnectivity, and just the whole shebang that comes with taking mushrooms or a psychedelic. And it was absolutely insane. I was completely aware. It was probably the deepest lucid dreaming experience I've ever had. I was completely aware of what was going on, and that I'd taken a mushroom to awaken. I'd used the mechanics of the dream to awaken myself within it, and I had possibly some of the most intricate awakening experiences that I've ever had to sort of source, God, the universe, inside the dream itself. Because I guess in the dream world there are no limits, are there? There's no materialistic limits at all, so it sort of means the floodgates can open and you can have these profound realizations that maybe your ego is suppressing when you have a trip. But since there was no ego and I was just consciousness, it was like I'd amplified that by taking a dream version of a psychedelic. And this just blew my mind. I've heard of some people doing this before, where people, big time trippers, have taken psychedelics in the dreams, because I've noticed that a lot of people who are into consciousness work, that their dreams can be amplified big time from taking psychedelics over the years, because at the end of the day it is amplifying your consciousness, elevating it to higher states. So it would make sense to me that would go hand in hand with your dreams becoming deeper and more sensical in a sense, even though everything around me was nonsensical, like the geometry and the geography of the place I was in, and the narrative as well was also all over the place. But the main facet of it was that I was having a genuine psychedelic experience as my dream character, and I remember waking up the next day feeling completely refreshed, like I have every time I've taken mushrooms. I've never actually taken Amanita, so obviously my subconscious just used the Amanita appearance and then supplemented it with the experience of taking normal mushrooms. This is just me speculating big time, by the way. I have no idea how the mechanics of taking psychedelics in a dream works. I just think this was an interesting thing to talk about, and it really just opened up a whole new realm of possibilities for me regarding dreams and how they can be used for personal development. And I've started to take them a lot more seriously now that they're getting majorly vivid. The past few nights I've had insanely vivid dreams. Like last night I had a dream with all my mates at a festival. We were all talking about stuff going on in our lives, what we want to do. I'm currently planning on travelling Japan this year, and obviously that's been at the tip of my mind a lot of the time, because I'm absolutely gagging to go over there and always have done. So obviously that spills over into my dreams, and I've been having these insane dreams of me being sort of some Blade Runner type person living in cyberpunk Japan with, again, impossible geometry thrown into the mix. Just completely mind-bending stuff, because again, like I say, for many years when I was a chronic weed smoker, if I had a dream it was just pretty stitched together, meaningless, couldn't remember any of it the next day. And now that I don't smoke weed barely at all, my dreams have just been intensely exaggerated to the point of them feeling like genuinely real dimensions of experience that consciousness can explore. I know that obviously many people say that when they take psychedelics and break through, they become they feel like they're in a lucid dream world. I've definitely had that on my mystical ego death experiences, where I feel like it's just consciousness generating a dream. And to actually experience that, rather than think of it conceptually, is just utterly mind-blowing. I'd thought about it a lot before actually having that Amanita experience in the dream, like, what would it be like to take a psychedelic in dreams, because surely anything's possible in your dreams. And then after ruminating on that thought for days, and it sort of being the focal point of my mind, no wonder when I had a lucid dream experience that I decided to take the Amanita in it, because this is what my consciousness wants. And then obviously it ties in with my normal reality. I've been dying to get back into psychedelics again, because to be honest, I've been having a lot of sort of ego problems, morbid thoughts, and etc., which, I don't know, most of the time I can just bring myself into the awareness state where I'm like, I am awareness, not the thoughts, etc. And I'm usually pretty alright, to be fair, even though I still do get like anxiety and depression, usually the day after or within the moment, if I hone my mind into it and meditate, I can actually relinquish it. But I feel like I sort of need to supplement it with a psychedelic experience to really heighten my consciousness in a concrete manner, and in such a profound manner that the way that psychedelics can do, because obviously meditation is extremely powerful, but psychedelics really are a shortcut to heightened states of consciousness, as we all know. And yeah, I thought it was really interesting how my dream was trying to tell me that this is something that I desire, and that I actually need it to develop myself further, because obviously I was rigorous in my psychedelic use for many years, and then when it started getting insane with all these mystical transcendent experiences, my ego definitely went into backlash mode and sort of tried to tether me back to reality, because again, that's what the ego does. It needs to survive, doesn't it? It's a survival mechanism of it, and that's why ego deaths are so painful for a lot of people who've got a lot of baggage going on. I mean, everyone's got a lot of baggage. I've got a lot of baggage. No matter, even if you think you haven't, you definitely have, because it's just the human experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, just a little ramble about dreams. I definitely would suggest getting a dream journal if you have vivid dreams as well, and sort of trying to tie the dots together. Even if there are no dots to be tied together, just even chronicling what happens to you is absolutely fascinating. And I feel like the more you train yourself to do that, the better you'll get at remembering dreams, and it also allows you to harness the ability to access a lucid dream better as well, from what I've read. I think another reason I've had a lot of dreams lately is because I do find myself waking up in the middle of the night, sort of on the cusp of REM sleep, and then when I go back to sleep, it's sort of like my consciousness is awake and my body's completely tired, and then I sort of go into that sleep paralysis mode and get them weird sort of like fucking banshee demon screams and seeing people in my room, all the freaky shit. But then when I let go, I completely go into this lucid state, and the dreams become extremely vivid and detailed and have sort of a narrative to them, rather than scattered dreams you have when you're younger, where it's just like random bits of images and visuals and experiences. But now they're actually having this form of cohesion now, which is pretty insane. It also sort of freaks me out in a sense, in the best way. Before I go to sleep, I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to experience tonight? Even if it's a nightmare, sometimes I am blessed to even experience them, because oftentimes, as twisted as they can get, there always is some aspect of truth that can be incorporated into your life. At least personally for me. Obviously I know it's not going to be like that for everyone, this is just how it is for me. But yeah, I would love to hear what dreams you have, and if you've had any weird awakening experiences via taking psychedelics in your dreams, or just any strange lucid dreaming experiences you've had, because they're all just incredibly fascinating, aren't they? Going to be featuring a lot more dream reports in the future, and if you've got any, definitely send them in, because that's another aspect of the mystical psychedelic experience that I don't think is talked about a lot, because dreams are definitely tied in with reality and infinite consciousness, source, God, etc. Going to get seriously into this later in the year when we talk about more philosophical stuff like what is God, what is the universe, what is source, is reality a dream, blah blah blah. And a lot of the time, the psychedelic experiences that I share on this channel actually do shine a lot of light on the absolute truth of what is going on. So yeah, we'll leave the juicy bits for another time, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and if not, then I'll see you in your nightmares.